Have you ever felt that sinking feeling when something didn't go the way you expected? That tightness in your chest when reality didn't just match up to what you had imagined? It's this familiar feeling of disappointment that we all experience at one point or another. Do you want to know what this is all about and what Iceland has to do with it? Keep watching and open your eyes and ears. Hello, I'm Ini and welcome to Ini Insights. Today we are discussing our mindset, its connection to expectations, and how we can manage them to avoid disappointment. How are our expectations shaping our lives, influencing our mindset, and how it can sometimes lead to that sinking feeling of disappointment when things don't turn out as planned. I have reinvented Albert Einstein's famous theory of relativity to explain the connection between disappointment and our mindset and our expectations. How to avoid disappointment, but with a twist. Here is our formula. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. In our case, it becomes D equals me squared. Here's our formula. Disappointment D equals mindset M times expectations E squared. The way we approach our expectations and how we frame our mindset can make all the difference. Let's explore how this plays out in different parts of our lives. Expectations are all around us, in every area, whether we realize it or not. In our families, relationships, at work, and within ourselves. They silently influence how we perceive the world and shape our mindset. When people's expectations are not met, they often become disappointed, and you hear with a frowning face statement like, "I didn't expect this from you. I expected you to do better." Let's break down these parameters of our formula. Let's start with mindset. First, let me explain what a mindset is and why it does matter. Your mindset is everything. They are incredible set of beliefs that shape how we make sense of the world and ourselves. It influences how we think, feel, and behave. It determines even what we consciously see and hear. It shapes what you believe about yourself and your environment. It can impact your success or failure. Your mindset influences synchronicity, which Carl Jung, a famous Swiss psychologist, defined as the causal connections between two or more seemingly unrelated events. For example, you want to buy a blue car. You have made your research about the price, the brand, the model, and the color of your dream car, and you picked the color blue. Funny as it may sound, when you step out, you start seeing blue cars. Practically on every street, you realize the neighbor has a blue car. The doctor's car is blue. The taxi you order coincidentally is also a blue car. Oh, you really now have a blue mindset. I believe you've encountered a similar situation to this. Your focus is framed and narrowed to become the reality you see and experience. That's the power of the mind. once we set our minds on something, it narrows our perspective, which can either work for or against us. There are two big types of mindset. Fixed mindset. Believe that abilities are static. That's just who I am. There's no point in trying. Then we have the growth mindset. Believe that ability develop with effort. I can learn or adjust as I go. Take, for example, a child that grew up with constant praises like, "You're so smart," "Oh, you're natural," from his parents or teachers. This can create a fixed mindset where they feel they need to maintain this label rather than grow. But by shifting to a growth mindset where effort is praised, you worked really hard on that, they are encouraged to keep improving. This praises sends labels and promote a growth mindset. Here is a tip. Praise the process, not only the outcome. The process puts you in the here and now. Labeling abilities as fixed can lead to a mindset that resists growth. Mindset is not a simple concept, and implementing the growth mindset is not easy. It may be an idea to dig deeper into it in one of the following videos. Let me know. No matter how we focus on growth, we open up new possibilities which are endless. Now, let's look at expectations in 3 areas of life: family, relationships, and ourselves. What are your expectations from life, family, friends, and yourself? Expectations are powerful. They push us to plan, strive, and achieve. But when expectations don't align with our reality, we slide into disappointment, or that's when disappointment sets in. If this is hitting home, keep watching. There's more coming on family, relationship, and self-expectations. Let's start with family expectations. Family expectations are one of the most common sources of pressure. Your parents expect you to live a certain way, your career choice, or when you are expecting everyone in your family to get along. You're not alone. Family expectations often stem from love, tradition, or a desire for success. Coming from an African background, I can relate to this very well. Your parents, siblings, even extended family expect a lot from you. You might feel the pressure to live up to traditions and values. It can feel overwhelming when expectations from loved ones don't match your own path. Take a family tradition like a holiday feast, for example. As children grow, move away, or start new families, they may want to begin their own traditions. Yet, when they can't make it back home for the family feast, some parents and family members feel disappointed. You hear, "I can't believe you didn't honor our family tradition." That's the fixed mindset talking, expecting things to stay the same, even when circumstances have changed. As a parent, why didn't you consider that maybe the child is a grown adult now with his own priorities, needs, and preferences? Another example is the family WhatsApp group The truth is, there are always family members who will exit the group if given the opportunity, but they can't because that will be considered as being rude. Maybe your parents wanted you to become a doctor, but you choose a different path. Or perhaps you expected your siblings to support your decision, but they didn't. These unmet expectations can lead to tensions, frustrations, and even misunderstandings. So, how do we manage these expectations? It starts with communication and developing a growth mindset. Be clear about your own goals and listen to the goals of others. Understand that everyone has their own journey, and most importantly, accept that no one is perfect, including you. Now let's talk about relationship. This is where expectations can really create problems. You expect your partner to know exactly how you feel, to always understand your needs, and to make you happy without you saying a word. Sounds fair, right? But here's the thing. We often expect too much from people, forgetting that they are just as human as we are. Do not forget, your partner is not a superhuman with a mind-reading abilities. You have to communicate clearly. Imagine it's your birthday. You will want your partner to be the first to wish you a super birthday. Maybe even plan a surprise dinner. Get you that dream gift you have talked so much about. But instead, your partner calls to wish you a happy birthday. Got you a thoughtful gift, not the dream one. And on top of that, there is no dinner reservation. The disappointment creeps in because reality didn't match the fairy tale in your head. Here is the key. Manage your expectations by appreciating what you have and receive. Learn to recognize the small meaningful moments in your relationship and let go of the fairy tale version of love that we often create in our minds. Not every romantic gesture needs to be grand to be valuable. Finally, let's talk about self-expectations, which can be the trickiest of all. Just like with relationship, our expectations for ourselves can be a double-edged sword. How we set these expectations is deeply influenced by our mindset. If you ever felt like you should be perfect, never mess up, always successful, or never make mistakes, you're not alone. However, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. But sometimes our own expectations can become the biggest barrier to our growth and happiness. This is where the fixed or growth mindset comes into play. A fixed mindset is when you believe that your abilities are not set on stones. You are either naturally good at something or you're not. This mindset often leads to setting rigid and high expectations for yourself. If you don't meet them, it can be crushing. Imagine you expect to ace a job interview because you are always prepared, but then you didn't get the job. The fixed mindset can make the disappointment feel permanent, like you have failed for good. On the other hand, a growth mindset sees abilities as something you can develop over time. If you don't meet your expectation, it's not the end. it is a chance to learn and improve. For example, you can say, I didn't get that job, but what can I learn from this experience to be better next time? When we have a growth mindset, our self-expectations become more flexible and forgiving. Here's a practical example. Say you started a new hobby, like learning an instrument. Take for instance a piano. With a fixed mindset, you might expect to play a song perfectly within 1 week and feel frustrated if you're not there yet. But with a growth mindset, you might set a different expectations, like practicing few minutes each day and celebrating the small improvement over time. By setting realistic step-by-step goals, you avoid disappointment and stay motivated. So, whether it's in your family, your relationship, or yourself, expectations result to positive or negative outcome. So, the key to managing self-expectation is to stay aware of your mindset. Shift your focus from expecting perfection to embracing progress. Recognize that growth takes time and be patient with yourself. Let go of the perfect version of yourself you've created in your mind and start valuing the journey. Remember, it's okay to be a work in progress. Expectations can motivate us, but they can also leave us feeling hurt and unfulfilled. The key is balance in our mindset. Thanks for watching Ini Insight. If you have found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, managing your expectations isn't about settling for less. No, it's about reducing the chances of being disappointed. Control your mindset before your mind controls you. Thank you, and see you next time where light meets clarity.